be Nigerian immigrants who seem to be like at least this wave of Nigerian immigrants happen to be people of like the upper class there, right? Like they can be engineers, like coming from their country, sure, but it depends on where they're coming from. And a lot of them who come to these shores are not in any way privileged, right? They're coming straight from the bottom, but they also have that drive as well.
Wait, isn't it true that the majority of immigrants that come to this country, even from third world country, are typically the more successful and less impoverished versions of those people? Because the vast majority of people who are impoverished never are able to leave because it's very expensive to transport an entire family there. Hasn't that talking point been there for like 10 years?
Yeah.
It's hard fact.
No. It depends on the. So immigration patterns are actually really interesting, and for some countries, you are getting like the cream of the crop, right? In terms of exactly what Fanatiq just said. But for others, it's poor. Like when the Irish immigrants were coming here, there were like the poor Irish immigrants who were coming. There was the ones who were starving. Were the ones who were on their way here.
Well, that's indentured servitude. That's a little bit different. Isn't it?
No, that wasn't indentured servitude. I'm talking about at the potato famine when they just came, right? But there were some who were in indentured servitude previously. But like from different nations, right? Because of different circumstances, they'll get here somehow. But yeah, in some ways, it's. Like within the Asian community, right? Within the Asian community, there are some ethnicities, right? If you talk to Asian Americans, right? There's a hierarchy. They'll talk to them, they'll tell you about this, right? And then there's some ethnicities that are looked upon worse than others. It's because of money.
Prime, you're comparing refugees to immigrants, right? Because yes, if we compare like refugees from like a famine or something, then we're just gonna get whatever. But when you start talking about like willing just immigrants, then typically you're gonna get cream of the crop.
I mean, if you're
especially people who cross oceans, like that might not be from Mexico. People may be able to walk, but like
Haitian,
it costs money to get across the ocean.
People from Haiti,
Haiti is very close.
The ones they turned around.
Yeah,
you could about swim.
No, but like if you're limiting it, I'm talking about all immigrants. So I'm talking about all immigrants. If you're like, I'm saying that
I was thinking black immigrants.
I was thinking
black immigrants. There are plenty of immigrants who come from struggles, right? Like from different countries that come from Turkey, right? And who are poor and come from.
But is it the vast majority of their profile? Are they economically in a better place than the average poor person in America? I would think the answer is yes.
I would think the answer is no, but I don't have the data on me, so I'm not going to say any more without any more data. But that's my impression, right? Okay. I don't want to be like Fanatiq, still looking for that data that he probably.
I was curious because I think Dream has said as much. I've seen a lot of people who've made the argument you made, Prime, and I think that like I framed it that way in particular because I wanted people to be comfortable to say it. I disagree, but just on the basis, I think a lot of the bases that Gambit has said, like I don't think that black people who are born in in regular everyday American black communities, like don't grow up with the same drive for success. Don't lead the kids to wanting to. I think there's larger systemic issues that prevent them from like reaching those, from breaking those barriers.
Yeah. My point.
Well, this is crazy.
Like a lot of us are end up pacified through government assistance or different other things that they get to where they're like, oh well, I guess I'm just cool right here. This is cool. I'm able to live, you know what I'm saying? Like
no. The
system's purposely set up that way.
Was you heading towards a welfare queen?
Hey, I'm sorry. Look, this is crazy.
I'm not saying welfare queen argument just in general. I'm talking about there's systems in place to where it makes you feel like, oh, okay, I'm good right here. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying government assistance in any form.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that.
What welfare seems to be the gap that like if we look at other countries who have like bigger welfare systems than America, it seems to be the thing from preventing you from falling all the way back into abstract poverty just because you hit a bump in the road.
Listen, I think it doesn't help us when to get that you have to have a broken family unit. You know what I'm saying? They purposely make sure that
this is a welfare queen.
The father is different.
This is literally.
I mean, it is a slight bit of a different argument. I'm just saying, that whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. Like, so you can make the argument. I'm not saying don't make the argument. I'm just saying, like, argue. Let's argue.
Wait, what?
Fanatiq, did you have something?
So my whole point, and what I'm arguing that there are government systems in place that hurt the African American experience to where it pushes you back.
Whether like Candace Owens. Candace Owens says welfare.
Wait, please stop doing that because it's just not true. I'm sorry. Like I 100% agree with this, and we have data to support it. Like I do absolutely. I absolutely believe that while these systems are needed, that like obviously a decent reform was pretty good. Yeah. Like it was during Bill Clinton's era, so I blame the Democrats here, that they actually reformed welfare to literally prevent people from being able to do things like go to school while on welfare.
Married?
I know this because my mother was on welfare at the time, going to school full time, and she had to find workarounds to actually be able to get her degree. So so my family didn't stay on poverty, and then my parents became upper middle class people with the degree she earned while on welfare that Bill Clinton forced and made it so that it was no longer possible to do. So I think this whole notion that like it's just a Candace Owens thing to say that there was a dependency on the system that literally incentivized fathers not to be in the home through Section 8 and AFDC, that like these things were absolutely harmful to the African American community. I think those are actually just valid. What are you talking about?
I'm pretty there's whole segments.
Let me pull up.
Wait, bam.
Can you respond? Can you respond to that?
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna look up today because I'm pretty sure that is the exact answer to that. It seems that we have less. What?
Bam, you're just wrong.
No, like, I'm not. I'm saying,
people couldn't even get married because they would lose the fucking money that they were getting, so they had to stay single. I know people right now that have been together since I was a kid that can't get married because they would lose their funding. Like
they would literally.
I don't care about some.
You can't just write an argument off and say.
No, I'm not writing it off. I'm saying I'm going to pull the date, but like it.
No, but you're saying that's a Candace Owens argument.
It is a Candace Owens argument.
But you can't. That doesn't defeat it.
But I'm explaining the opposite. I'm saying the opposite factor is true. Actually, the stronger welfare system seems to lead to a bigger level of social mobility in your society. If without some level of welfare to get people to a certain level where they can have some like the standings of a basic household, like welfare to keep a roof over your head where you're not having to worry about those basic necessities, gives you more opportunities to pull yourself out of abject poverty.
Which also gives you single motherhood and childless fathers and all of that stuff too.
No, the rules of our welfare system is broken. The rules of the welfare system is broken. We're not talking about welfare is bad. We're talking about the rules of welfare are bad because they create bad outcomes.
Which is why the majority of the country. No. Listen, Bam. You got to understand this. This is why the majority of the country didn't support Andrew Yang, because he was going to remove the means testing on welfare, and black people would get money and be able to be together. But as black people, I feel like we were stupid and we didn't understand that he was giving like $2 billion a month to black people. But yeah, this is why Andrew Yang was dope. He's like, hey, you can get married, you can do whatever the fuck you want, you'll get money as well. And we were like, nah, fuck that. Still is shit over.
So just to be really clear, by the way, and I know this sounds awful, I do think that immigrants actually work harder than FBAs, and I think there's a reason for that. And I think that the reason is that like it's culture, right? In the same sense how if you're raised in an environment in which you have incredibly hardworking parents and you've been taught to struggle and so on and so forth, then you're more likely to want to work harder yourself. And then the parents who have experienced that are more likely to instill those sort of values in their children. Whereas to the contrary, if you're one of those people who have been disenfranchised because of our government and welfare systems like that, you aren't going to have the same drive. I do not think that it's true that like we do all work as hard. I know that some of us do. I think I had incredibly hardworking parents, and I think that that allowed for mobility in my family. And I think that's from the Judeo-Christian values that my family happened to really focus on. But to just say that we all just work as hard and the only thing holding us back is the system, I will never co-sign that, because I think there is a values difference. There is a specific thing that where some people are saying I am 100% unwilling to have children out of wedlock. Like that's an important thing. That's obviously going to like greatly impact your family and your community and your society. And I think that you'll find those kind of values like in certain areas. And I would say that once you've had a culture because of the welfare system that literally said that the women needed to be on welfare in order to sustain a family and men needed to be outside of the home, typically you do need 2-parent households to instill that sort of value. Because if you have a full-time working mother and she's a single parent, then that also creates an environment where there's no one there to actually force the children to work. Or if you look at it like multiple generations of people have once you come from a single parent familyhood, a household, that leads you into believing that single parent households are acceptable. So then now when you have a system in which fathers were absent in the home, then now you have the next generation who grew up with this, normalized in that culture, thinking it's totally okay for me to have whatever to whatever. And if the mother spent all of that time on welfare because they weren't really hiring black people, then that teaches children, young black women are going to emulate their parents and say, see, mama just kind of sit around and not do much. I don't got to do much neither, and so on and so forth. So while I can say I do believe they work harder, I think the reason why they're working harder is not because of any inherent differences, but because of cultural, environmental differences that have created this rationale or this this culture that says, okay, I don't have to work as hard, and a disbelief that working hard will actually get you the results that you want as well.
Yeah, I think the oh god, there's so many. I'm trying to find something that puts it in as plain words as possible. But everything I'm seeing keep pointing to the argument that the stronger your welfare state, the more social.
That's a very generic statement. As opposed to looking at that generic statement, how about looking at the marriage rates prior to the welfare things that happened in black between black Americans and white Americans, and see that black children were less likely to be born in single parent homes than white families, and the marriage rates were higher for black Americans than they were for white Americans.
Sure, but you're trying to make a causal link there.
I am making a causal link. Absolutely.
No, there's so I actually just had a conversation. There's so many other factors involved. Don't get me wrong. I think that I'm sure it's a factor, but we also
it's number one.
Sure. Can you get okay? That's fine. All right, I got you. Please don't appeal to vacuum or to vague things like so many other factors. Can you tell me one of the precipitating factors that's caused this, please?
The women being able to have women's ability to seek employment has increased since then. So
okay, that happened across all sectors, yet we didn't see those same negative effects.
We didn't see those same negative effects.
We saw incredibly. Okay, so then if we saw that same thing happening as a result of that, then explain to me why that before this thing, black women and black families were more likely to be more likely to have marriage and be together, but we saw black people completely decline to such a higher degree than all white people. Why did
1967?
Black women are last right now. What are you talking
about? No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
Black women are last.
Let me just
restate that, please.
The black marriage rate, the black marriage rate, I think the highest has ever been in this country is something like, I think 70%. Like there was so there was like 30%, and now it's up to somewhere. I think 70% unmarried. So I think there's like 30% to get married.
Right. So it completely inverted, right?
Yes, but
are you saying the white? Oh, wait. Did the white marriage rate invert?
Yes, the rate.
Look at white
marriage rate inverted to the same degree.
No, it was worse. It was like 1,000 times worse. The white marriage rate went from like 4% to like 40%. Like it's like a 1,000.
Wait. You're saying you believe that there was a point in time when the white marriage rate was at 4%?
No, not 4%. Like they like unmarried was like I think like 4%. It went from like 4% to like 40%.
Okay, so it went from 4% unmarried to 30% unmarried, right? Okay. And yeah, we can just accept this. So it went from 4% to 40% unmarried, right? So that means 96% marry rate to what you're saying, 96% marry rate to 70% married rate.
70, yeah.
Right?
Yes, 96%. So we're talking about the rate.
Right, yes. right. I got you. Of course. 96% married rate to 70% married rate, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're saying that's the same as the black rate going from 70% married rate to 70% unmarried rate? It's
worse. But the
wait. 70% married rate to 30% married rate, you're saying is worse than 96% married rate to 70% married rate?
Yes, because the black rate was already high, so it like doubled. Yes, but the white rate increased by like 1,000 percentile.
Okay. I got I'm gonna have to write this out because
way
my
more
brain
than
is not
double.
doing this.
So you're looking at the drop on
96% married to what was it, to 70% married? You said
to
70, somewhere like 70.
96% 70% married versus 70% married to 30% married.
Yes. So the black rate was already high, and the black rate somewhat doubled, but the white rate more than doubled. The white rate is like 10 times as low as it was then.
Okay.
I've just sent them
that math doesn't check up, Bam.
It does.
It doesn't. I just posted a chart.
If you go from 4 to 40, what did you?
No, bam. Just click the.
I get what math they're trying to do, and you're just wrong mathematically. What are we talking about? Jesus.
Okay, yeah, you found the same.
You think the proportional difference from 96 to 70 is greater than to 70 to 30? We're talking math now, bro. What's going on?
There's the damn thing.
I don't understand. I don't understand what y'all missing. I'm saying that
you're missing the math.
If something is 10 times worse than it was then, versus something is twice as worse as it was then. You're just looking at the raw numbers. Like we're not talking about the raw numbers. We're talking about the rate.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
So when you say the rate, do you mean like the differences in between? So because
there was the white rate like 1,000% decrease.
But bam, can you do this? Can you just click on the NIH article? Look at in 1970 the nosedive that black marriage rate has versus all the other cultures, and tell me what other confounding things are during that time period. This changes the welfare and it changes the drug policy and blah blah blah.
What table is
this?
Yes. In table one.
No. Just scroll down. You go see a graph. It makes it real easy for you. You can see 1970.
Right. Again, I'm not talking about there's more that matters than just the raw number.
I'm not talking about the raw number. Even percentage wise, it's even percentage wise, the black rate was worse. I don't know how you're thinking in your mind. 96% to 70 is way smaller than 70% to 30.
No, it's not again, you're looking at the raw number.
I'm looking at the rate. I'm talking about the math over and over again, the multiplication, not just addition. What are you talking about?
Explain what's the difference between the two.
Let me use a simpler number.
No, explain the difference between the two. Explain the difference between the two.
I'm trying to. Let me use a simpler number to understand. If something goes from 1 to 2, it doubled. If something goes from 50 to 75,
it did.
It's 1.5%. It didn't double. Like that's a smaller growth in this.
It's a
25.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be a 50% increase.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the white rate had a bigger overall increase.
But you're just wrong, though. Whatever you're trying to make up, I don't know what you're doing because I didn't listen to y'all, but you're just wrong about it. The numbers don't look at the damn chart. You're literally just wrong. I think you're wrong in the math and you're wrong on what you're saying. I didn't know
I was getting a fucking math lesson. What the fuck is this shit?
You need it if you're gonna. Oh my! I'm so frustrated. I don't know what this. Oh, this is so crazy.
I don't know what this.
At what point are you saying At what point are you saying the marriage rate in white people was 50%? That doesn't exist.
I never said
me.
50%.
It's smooth.
Oh, Fanatiq, yeah.
It's smooth that you're talking to us because if you were trying to talk to us, then you were muted. Unless you were trying to talk to your audience. Yeah, we didn't hear any of that.
No, I was trying to talk to y'all. What the
heck? We hear you.
Hello?
Maybe we just louder. Maybe we just louder than you.
Yeah, we okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, all I'm saying is, bro, you were saying okay, so we had one person die and now we had 2 people die, right? That is a more significant than it going from 500 to 750. I'm sorry. The 250 extra bodies is pretty significant. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying that's not
using your percentage game is not good. That is not a good metric to look at something at all. What you should do is open that table and see we nosedive off the face of the earth. We literally jumped off the diving board and just failed. No parachute.
Okay. Hey, here we'll just do it this way. Well, let's talk rates. Okay. So from the black marriage rate to go from 70% to 30%, that's a decrease by more than half, right?
Yes.
Bam.
Yeah,
Bam.
Okay.
Okay. I'm asking.
40 is greater than 35.
Wait. To decrease from 70% to 30%, That's a decrease by more than half, right?
That's not the numbers we're looking at.
Okay.
You're doing it. It's not the same thing.
Bam. What we're looking at is marriage rates.
That's not what I'm looking at. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I literally asked you for these numbers, and I'm only using the numbers that you gave me because I'm not looking at any data. And the number you gave me, then tell me if these numbers are incorrect.
I'm saying
You said the black marriage rate was 70%. Yes, that was the original figure. Just answer that yes or no. Let me walk through that. Okay. And then you said the shift was to 30%. That was the new number. Yes. Okay, so that was a change from 70% to 30%. That's the number that we have there. Now, the next numbers, we're talking about now the white statistics. You said the white statistics were 96%. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and so now the 96% dropped down to 70%. Yes?
Yes.
So from the 70% to 30% is a greater decline, not just numerically, but also percentage-wise, right?
This is where you're missing. So
listen.
Yeah, that's not.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking at the under. What percentage of people? This is just a math thing. This is just again. What percentage of people were unmarried? When I said 97%, what percentage of people were unmarried?
If you said it was 97, if you said it was 96, if it was
96,
4%.
Okay.
You said 4%.
So that's 4. Okay, so what? Now let's drop that down to what did I say? 70. Okay.
Yeah.
So
from 90 to 70.
How many times?
Okay, look. If you were shooting free throws, which number would you want?
Talk about
I don't know.
Free throws.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Damn. That's in the argument.
Don't get scared now.
Numbers go number.
No, shut up. Well, hold on a second. Give me a second. Fanatiq wanted to do this. How many times does 4 go into
7?
30?
But you're still wrong.
You're wrong.
You're trying to say it was a 7 times.
We can get to that, but let's do this first. That's what he wanted to talk about. How many times is 4 going to 30? I'm sure it goes into that more times than what numbers did I say for black people? I can't even remember off the.
You're gonna say,
bro, I don't think you understand percentages, and it's
rate of change
literally doesn't.
You're failing at rate of change, bro.
No.
You really are.
You are really bad.
This is really crazy to me, Bam.
No, nothing. Everything I'm saying makes absolutely perfect sense. I don't understand.
When you're looking at a number in a vacuum, sure, but we are talking about comparing both
white
numbers.
people had a bigger overall
if you're going to tell me that if you got 2 equal players, you got Steph Curry that went from 90
that's not
to
the,
70,
you're making a different argument.
That's
not
Steph
the argument
Curry
I'm making.
that went from 70 to 30.
I understand.
Let me try one more time.
Yeah. The 30 getting cut.
Because I want to move past this. Because we've been on this for a while, right?
Right.
One more time. Like, what are you measuring? Like, so you're saying like not rate of change, right? Not raw numerical differences, right?
No.
What is the exact measurement? I've been laughing this entire time because it's been hilarious to me.
He's trying to do compounding. He's trying to say the it's so hard to explain.
Let him know. Let him do it.
He's trying. Yeah. Okay.
I'm saying that white people had a more substantial decrease. Like if they went from if they're
don't use substantial.
I'm saying I'm using how many times does 4 go into 30? Let's just do the numbers. Let's do it with our hands. We can
Prime. Hold on. Let me help you, Bam. Let me help you, Bam. This is what he's trying to say, Prime. I don't agree with it at all. What he's saying is they had a problem that only 4% of the population was dealing with. Now, once it dropped to 70, he said 30% of the population is not dealing with it. So the problem got 7 times worse to him because it was 4%, and now it's a little bit over 7 because 4 times,
seven times.
Yeah, 7. Yeah. So he's saying it was 7 times worse for them, which is it's hilarious that he's doing this. I don't agree. And he's saying that if you look at the numbers with black people, 30% of them were unmarried at the beginning, and then it went to 70% because y'all said from 70 to 30, which your numbers are wrong. That's why I'm struggling because your numbers are horrible.
I just wanted to do the math.
Yeah. So then he said now 70%.
It got like twice as bad.
So he's saying it got twice as bad because 30 times 2 is 60 plus the 10, so one third into that, right? So he's saying that the problem didn't grow exponentially as bad. That's what he's saying. The exponential rate of change or some shit, which is which it doesn't make sense to argue that. I don't think ever. But maybe there's some weird form of statistics where that matters, but it doesn't.
I'm glad Gambit knew the math at least. Even if he disagrees, I'm glad he knew the math.
Bro, Bam, I'm going to tell you, at a financial analyst, it's terrible. Math, bro.
It just makes it, it's just correct.
It's like compounded interest or something. I don't know what.
No, but I can't think of the word for it.
This isn't.
Looking at it seems good, but I'm telling you, if you told a company that you could either go from 70 to 30% profit loss, like profit gain, to 96 to 70, they'll take the 96 to 70 every day because it's better math.
Okay, hey, I got it.
26% then lose 40%.
Okay, listen, let's try this really quick. Bam. What is the percentage rate? What percentage did the white marriage rate drop in the figures that you provided?
Like what? 30? Yeah, that's what we said. 30.
Wait, no, it's not 30. From 96 to 70
is 20 was 26.
No, that's not what the percentage drop is.
Oh, you said percentage drop. Got you.
Yes.
Okay.
What percentage drop did the white marriage rate fall? And when you're doing 96 to 70,
2 ninths, bro. I got you, Bam. Just do 2 ninths. 2 divided by 9. Just make it simple.
Why not 26? Why are we doing fractions? Okay, now I'm confused. Now I don't get the math.
Wow.
I've been saying
you can't do this.
No. We got it. Hey, we made progress. Hold up. It's okay.
It's not your fault that you didn't understand. Gambit explained exactly what I said.
It's my fault. We made progress. Everyone shut the hell up. Okay. Really? When we're trying to talk about rate of change, the reason why we'd be doing percentage is because if you want to say, like, we're comparing the way things were to where they are now, the math that you would do in that case is a rate of change difference. So, for instance, if we say, 100% of people are, I don't know, or 80% of Black women are in poverty, okay? And then we do something to drop it to 40%, right? Like, now only 40% of people. That is a 50% drop.
Yes.
Do you get that? Because 50% of 80 is 40, right?
Yeah, it's that's original minus.
I got it. All right, 50%, 80 is 40. So in the same sense, when we're looking at the marriage rate change, we would never use the raw numbers, which is what you kept saying to me, which is why I was so perplexed. Because you're right, we would not use the raw numbers, but because of the disparity, because these numbers are so great in difference, both raw numbers and in this and percentage rate of change, both ways it applies. So the difference between 96% and 70% is 27.1%, right? 70 is 21. I'm sorry. So you get that, right? The difference between 70% and 30% is 42.9%. So that means that the Black marriage rate dropped by 42.9%, whereas the white marriage rate dropped by 27.1%. Do you understand those two things?
Sure, but that's not what I'm said. Again, I made a completely different argument.
No, but that's
what I'm saying. Now, if we want to do the raw number, the thing that you were saying that
I didn't say the raw number.
Well, you kept saying that you were looking at the raw number. The raw number would have been a decline of 26% for white people, right? That's what it would have been, and then a decline of 40% for Black people. Even in that case, it's still higher. So no matter any way you slice it.
No, the way I said it was correct.
No. So no, bro. So no. Fanatic.
Gambit already addressed exactly what I said.
No. I'm not.
I don't understand what you're missing.
Yeah, what you said is ludicrous, and I don't know what formula that is.
Smooth.
Yeah. So bam. The problem is you're looking at percentages, and you're like, oh, this percentage jumped up 500%. When that's the wrong way to look at it.
No, you're looking at the wrong way. What does that mean?
It is the wrong.
If it's a 500% increase, it's a 500% increase. That's not wrong.
No. So listen. That way only works when you're talking about increases. When you're talking about decreases, the formula is different. You have to take your new rate and divide it by your old rate, and then that remaining percentage is your rate of change.
Okay. Here. Okay, no, let's do it inverse. Let's do it inverted for you, like in increase, right? So the Black unmarried rate in the original number was 30%, right?
Again, I don't want to do this. I feel like Gambit already explained it, and y'all aren't. You just didn't
All right,
catch
sure,
it.
I get it.
No,
I'll say for the audience, everyone else, you guys can get it. This nigga can just stay ignorant. So the black unmarried rate was 30%. The black unmarried rate after the change jumped up to 70%. It doesn't matter which way you phrase it. That number still remains that the black unmarried rate increased by 42.9%, whereas the white unmarried rate, by his numbers, was 4%. And the white unmarried rate increased to 30%, right? And so then that's an increase in 27.1%. What he's doing is he's trying to compare the 4% and then trying to infuse that into the white number, into the black numbers, as if that has any relevance. What you would be looking at is specifically rate of change. And with rate of change, that's why you would always use percentages. I get the idea that the change from 2 to 4 is greater. I'm sorry, the change from 2 to 4 is greater than the change from I don't know. I'm trying to think of a comparison. It's greater a change from 2 to 4 than it is a change from 50 to 70, from 50 to 70, right? Like that rate of change is way greater on 2 to 4. But in this case, the rate of change is greater for the white people than it is for the black people. If you want to use raw numbers, it's greater for the white people than it is for than it is for the black people. I'm sorry, both of those black and white. I don't understand why this nigga's saying this is crazy. I hate putting on training wheels to walk niggas through the math. But you guys had the numbers. So here it is. So the numbers he said was 96 and 70 for white, and then 70 and 30 for black. Do the math yourself. Use a freaking calculator.
So listen. To make.
I don't want to do this anymore. This is stupid. What's that?
Give up. You can't process numbers.
No, I've already processed. I'm saying I just disagree with you. So let's go back to let's get back to the actual discussion.
I'm not sure there's any disagreeing here.
But I'm saying he's saying that this is the way that this is.
Hold on. No, Bam. You said you was gonna give it up. You gotta give it up. You gotta give it up. You gotta give it up.
Now let's get back to the reason we were talking about these numbers, which is I don't believe that we can find. I don't believe we can find a correlative.
Until you look at this chart.
Don't even bring in.
Until you look at the chart.
It's not statistics.
Yeah.
It's not even
honestly.
I'm saying
I literally.
It's not even statistic. That's a literal fact.
It's a fact. There's no other reason why people get married less today.
Yeah.
Okay,
just because of
so
welfare.
at this point,
argument.
Listen, at this point, if we get to a point where we literally can't use data, math, and numbers and figures and statistics, we can't have this conversation anymore. Yeah. You did have 2 prepared topics. We have to go to another topic because if we can't agree that 20, no, I'm not doing it. If we can't agree on the stats, we got to just move on. Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
Or do you have to exit?
No, I got prayer meeting at 7. Okay. Hey, y'all can have this conversation. Listen, trust me. You guys were so close. Work on a little bit more. Trust me, you guys will get there. But, I believe in you guys. Y'all got to have this conversation.
You better pray for me.
Before you leave, all right? What I got to say is, welcome to the All Black Everything Roundtable, which we start. We have 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays, whenever we start. We never actually introduced. We literally just started arguing the moment we all came on screen.
I was like, dang, I was a little late. I was like, oh dang, they must have got through intros quick.
Hey, hold on. Let's record a fake opening. We can say that was the first topic, and then Eagle can cut that to the beginning.
I think that's actually a smart idea. I'm not even kidding. I think you should do that.